Welcome to another episode of Earth 2 Comicast, This Week in Comics, and it's your host, Mo Crosby. If you've been following the podcast This Week in Comics, you know we've been talking to a lot of indie creators, mostly African American, and this is for our Black History Month series where we're highlighting a lot of Black and or African American, African American comic book creators. Last week we had Robert Roach, and this week we're gonna have for you Alan Clark. Alan Clark, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself. Did I get that right? Yeah. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know who you are and what your comic book is about. So go ahead and do that.
Hello, my name is Alan Clark. As previously mentioned, I'm your friendly neighborhood supervillain. I guess I just make doomsday weapons for your head. Just call it that.
Awesome. So Alan makes doomsday. I'm sorry.
Type of crime, your head.
Oh, okay.
Weapon.
Okay. Gotcha. That's awesome.
For your brain.
I really wish you could see Alan right now because he has the dopest mask on with his hoodie. I screen grabbed it, so I'll be sure to post it on the podcast when this goes on the website for everyone to see. Don't worry, I got you guys covered. As you know, on This Week in Comics, we try to highlight what we've read and talk about some books that we've read or what we're reading. Unfortunately, Ziggy's unable to be on this episode with us, so it's just myself and Brianna. Brianna, say hello to the people.
Hello.
All right. So usually I let the guest go first, but I think I'm gonna do this, backwards and let Alan go last on this one because he's the super villain. Brianna, do you want to talk about a comic book you've read, or something that you are reading, or something that you have on your list that you're going to read?
I just started the new Superman because you recommended it.
Yes.
And I also have Snot Girl that I'm gonna read.
Okay.
And I don't know much about that one yet either, but started those.
So far, how do you like the new Superman?
I find it interesting. Like, he's kind of a bully for one. I'm just like, what?
Yes.
And kinda.
Mm-hmm.
And where I'm at in the story, the Batman and Wonder Woman of China just came in, so I'm kind of curious on what's happening there.
Oh man, it's getting good. Yeah, he's not typical Clark Kent where he's like, the mild-mannered kid. He's somewhere else. He's different. But yeah, it's a really interesting story, and I'm glad that you're reading it. Yes. Somebody finally reads a book that I recommend. I feel so great right now. You have no idea. Anyways, I will tell you guys what I've been reading. I just read Black Lightning Year 1, and when I'm saying that, I want you guys to hear that I'm saying I just read it, because at the DC event that happened last month in DC, obviously, I was there as press, and I picked up the Black Lightning Year 1 comic book that was that they were giving out, and actually that was being sold for Black Lightning before the Black Lightning premiere. So it's a different story of Black Lightning. It's a different origin, but it's more in line with the TV show. So it's something where, because I do a review for the show itself, so it's something where I'm now a lot more informed, because again, it's something where it's mirroring the TV show, so I can get more knowledge. And I mean, it's probably not going to go in the same storyline, but the characters are pretty much true to form with the TV show. So I'm really enjoying that, and I am ready to finish it so I can get more informed on reviewing the TV show. It makes me a better reviewer for the TV show. I am also reading. No, I already told you guys about this one, so never mind. Alan, I want to assume that supervillains and comic book creators do on their downtime read comic books, right?
Go ahead.
Alan, are you reading anything interesting that you want to recommend to our listeners?
To be honest with you, I think comic books are shit right now.
that is the most supervillain answer ever.
I mean, they're looking right now. We're discovering, or they've starting to finally realize that the black market is a very well endowed market when it comes to like, buying shit.
Right.
And here's the problem. So now you have Marvel and DC scrapping around trying to get that black dollar. And every black person out there is like, oh my God, finally a story about me. And it's just like you've been played with. You're being toyed. Black Lightning. Black Lightning was the lamest superhero that was ever shitted out by the DC Empire. Marvel. I mean, right now, okay, finally you get Black Panther, but I mean, how I mean, we've had Blade. If anyone wants to remember, all of Marvel's like sweet money and like impression that it made made to the entire market was with Blade. So they're starting to realize that there's money in the black market. So
Right.
they're going in that direction. But aside from everything else, DC, Marvel, they're pretty much recapping their sad 1980s like upbringing, so they can relive it and say, "Oh, what if I told you the same fucking story I've heard 15,000 times?" And guess what? I have Superman of whatever ass face in Ass Face Universe 5. I don't know.
No, I can appreciate your answer because
I mean, right.
no. But I can appreciate your answer because you do have a point. You do have a point where it's something where we're in this. I feel like in one of our other podcasts, I called it the Black Renaissance, where it's we're in the new black exploitation era, where it's like, oh, we can make dollars selling, now, appreciating our black readers, our black watchers, all of that. So they're pushing out a lot more stuff. You know what? Since that's a thing, or that's the way you feel, I want to ask you, how do you feel about the Black Panther movie? Excited? Are you like, okay, finally, or it's just like, whatever?
I remember that Disney was once the same company that made the movie called Songs of the South. So let's be honest about who's making the money. They're willing. If tomorrow Lynchy Lynch of the Lynch Masters was the most popular thing that ever came and crapped out of society, I'm confident that Disney will make Lynchy Lynch Masters and the Lynchers. Disney's following where the buck is. Or they're trying to redeem themselves from coming from a racist heritage. And I mean, hey, Black Panther looks really cool. It looks great. I have not seen the movie, so I can't say what the movie is going to be about. But I'm very apprehensive to jump on the cock.
Gotcha. Anyway, so while we have you here, you do write your own comic book. Do you want to tell us what that's about and let the listeners know? So hey, you know what? You don't want to read Marvel, or you're tired of reading what the Marvel or DC side have for you. Give us a taste, Alan.
Oh God, I'm sorry for you. One comic book I'm doing right now, I moved to Oakland with the interest of stalking old black people, asking them about their experience with the Black Panther Party. So I am now living in Oakland, writing the history of the Black Panther Party's history.
Nice.
It starts off with the transatlantic slave trade, to create the argument to why any group of people would arm themselves against oppressors. I feel they have to explain this. It's also, I feel it very important to address this in a time when our history books are going through yet another revisionist period. And it is important to make sure that this history is highly visible and is able to be understood in the most base level. And I think sequential art does a perfect job at that sometimes, to continue our history in a way that maybe we see it now with some schools across the country rewriting their history books, calling us immigrants, calling us this, saying that the native people moved willingly. We're seeing this revisionist period. So I'm writing a comic book trying to basically create an anti-cancer weapon for their cancerous understanding history. And I start off with the transatlantic slave trade. Issue 1 addresses that. Issue 2 starts off the enlightenment of Malcolm X and how his enlightenment was a public enlightenment of us as a people. And it shows our evolution through the eyes of Malcolm X, and then from there, that is the trigger that helps the Black Panther Party, the emotional trigger that helps them form and then carry on. That's one comic book I'm working. Which will be coming out in March. I'm also doing a science fiction soap opera called Babylon. It sets 100 years in the future, and it's about 4 deities who are reincarnated in our universe, and are the thing that tried to kill them last time has come to try to kill them again. It's like a drugged up Sailor Moon.
Nice.
With people of color. It's very hyper violent and ask many issues about transhumanity. It encompasses the wide spectrum of sexuality that are available to us now, and what may be available to us in the future. What it means to what does it mean when identity is malleable? It explores that principality of culturalism and ethnicity and colorism, and how one can probably just walk gambit between all of them within a spectrum for technology. And it is about the pan-galactic expansion of humanity, from being a species that are only located in our solar system to a species that colonizes the southern hemisphere of the Milky Way galaxy. Everything that are on this end. And I make a comic book called Cosmic Death Monkey. It's about a deity that kills another deity and dumps the corpse into a black hole, and then goes to his best friend, the devil, to ask him that he needs help. It needs help needs to hide out, and it hides it out in our universe, and it kills everything out of boredom, all the things across the universe, and then left with the existential question of why. So that's the shit I work on.
That's awesome. That's pretty dope. I am interested in Babylon 9. Like, that story, again, you did say, when you made the reference Sailor Moon with color people, you had me sold. So,
Drugged up Sailor Moon.
Huh?
Drugged up Sailor Moon.
Yes. So I'm like, I am so excited to see that. And so, that was just a, pre-question before, because we have a bunch of other questions for you that, we'll go into more of, more of you, trying to get to know you or know a lot more about your personal, so to inform our listeners that, hey, look, you can have ideas and learn how to do stuff from someone who actually does it. So, like I said, we have a couple questions for you. Brianna, you want to get us started?
So, when did you first decide that you wanted to create your own comics as a career?
I didn't want a real job. God, I see people real jobs, and they look like assholes. They look like they've got like a rod up their ass. It's uncomfortable. Not even a fun rod, but just an uncomfortable rod up their ass. I went to school for thermodynamics and theoretical physics, and after 5 years, I was like, oh God, I just want to make comic books. That's pretty much what happened.
That's legit.
No, that is really legit.
I think that's legit. Like, for crime, it's expensive.
Right. You know what? That's so dope. He didn't give the generic, it was a passion. It was like, hey, honestly, I didn't want a real job. That's dope. Like, I can see that, because jobs are annoying.
Well, I mean, look at people with real jobs, they aren't following their passion. They're not following the reason why they didn't commit suicide. Like disappointed that 13-year-old promise saying, "Yo, we could be total badasses," and you're like, "All right, let's do that." But you disappointed that 13-year-old, and you should go back in time and kill yourself. If you don't follow that motto of life, why bother living?
Right. All right. So I have a question for you. Who's the biggest? Who has been the biggest influence on you outside of the comics industry, and how did they affect your life?
I've been stalking Noam Chomsky for a while. He's finally is in my he's like in March he's going to be like nearby. I know where he's going to be doing a talk, so I'm just going to hang out in that area and lurk. I'm going to lurk in that area. I've come across a very old Jewish man.
Nice. Oh.
I've been stalking Chomsky for a while.
Right.
I missed out on experiencing Octavia Butler.
Oh.
So I would have liked to have met her. I moved to Oakland on Octavia Butler's birthday, some type of black Afrofuturist magic sci-fi thingy.
Nice.
So you have to on the day of Octavia Butler's birthday to acquire the power, or something like that.
Okay, well, I can see that.
If you can get some like period blood to work out the magic, I think you got a doorway there.
I got that.
You already you got set one step ahead. Get that mad communication skill right there. The rest of us has to either ask our partners or find a goat. Goat is the next best thing for some reason. I don't know why. Didn't write the book. Just follow it.
So who has had the biggest influence on your comics career directly? How have they changed your work?
Warren Ellis when I was at a very impressionable age. And then also, reading a lot of Thompson. Those two terrible bastards really ruined a lot of things in my head. For the good, I think. And, I was a big Asimov fan. Butler. When it comes to art, that's a variety of people that kind of I became highly interested and at a young age try to copy them. And then sooner or later you're just like, oh God, after any hallucinogenic experiences with various drugs and narcotics, you come across some type of mental understanding of art and bullshit, and you're like, let's just do your own way. And after that, lot of drug night, big drug night, it's like, all right, that's it. And I don't know, maybe they ghost haunt you. That's a good one too.
All right, so I'm not gonna assume. I'm gonna ask, even though I feel like the answer you might give me the answer you just said. What do you do to recharge your creative batteries?
Oh no, I'd like to, what I do to recharge my batteries. Wait, I wrote you the answer.
You want me to read it out?
Read the answer I gave you.
All right, just give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. Oh gosh, this is funny. Let's see. Oh, okay. Alan's answers that he wrote me about what he does to recharge his batteries: walks on beaches, enjoying a quiet sunrise or restful sunset, torturing enemies in private hotel basements with car batteries and stuff found in industrial chemical labs. Now that is an answer for you guys. That is so awesome. You want to? Okay, so the last part, torturing enemies. You want to elaborate on that?
No.
No. Okay.
Secret.
Use your imagination.
Okay.
No, it could be some type of BDSM thing. Use your imagination, damn it.
Wait, so aside from talking to people, what else happens in your work routine?
Drawing. It takes a lot of time. It takes all the time to write and draw this. If it was like a novel, it'd be easy. I could just write words and that would be it. Drawing and writing, that takes up all your social time. There's nothing. You can't. There's only so much time manipulation you can afford.
All right. Okay, so this one is back to you drawing and creating. What tools do you use to create your comics, and what makes them the right? What makes those the right tools for you?
Paper, pencil, and pen. All I have. All I use. I don't have all these. What tools do people have? I mean, what the fuck are people using to draw comic books? You gotta go for the Will Eisner method. You are chained to a table.
um,
Move shit where you are working.
Hey Alan, let me ask you a question. So you illustrate your own comics?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good.
But it's not. No, it's not.
No, I'm only saying that because I can't draw for shit. So,
Can you write letters?
yeah, I can.
You can draw.
Okay. I'm gonna try some drawings tonight after the interview.
No, seriously. If you can write letters, you are drawing. You are drawing letters on paper.
Nice. You know what's funny? I picked up a coloring book for adults. Sorry, it's called Coloring Book for Grown-ups. Yeah, it's a coloring book for grown-ups. So I picked that up, and I've been coloring all day, so I feel great about myself.
Now you can move up to the middle school, high school level of drawing awkward things on your desk.
Can't wait.
Oh, this awkward thing on my desk now. I have moved up to like the middle school level because they took my paper away.
Can't wait.
So, what element of your work gives you the most personal satisfaction?
It's the fact that hopefully one day people will take these bad ideas, try to emulate them in the real world. I hope one day someone's going to be influenced by looking at the all-girl biker gangs in Babylon and form their own all-girl biker gang.
Oh, that's awesome. That'd be dope.
Then start underground hospitals and schools and programs that help people by using crime.
So going off Brianna real quick. What has been the most rewarding project of your your professional career, whether it's inside of comics or outside of comics, and why?
I don't know. I don't have one.
You want me to read the answer you gave me? Because you did give me an answer.
Oh wait, what the hell was the answer?
Let me match this up real quick so I get the right answer. Number 8. Yeah. When we build Doomsday Goliath 9, that brought me. That brought tears to my eyes. So there you go. You do have something. Perfect plan, perfect team.
You're threatening the lives of countless millions, all from ranges of unborn to very old. And they see the glaring, terrifying doomsdayness of Doomsday Goliath 9. Or the 7. Oh, fuck, who cares? And they see it. They know their lives are not just going to end, but will be continuously trapped in some type of fabricated dimensional space where I guess they call it soul energy for the uneducated, is used to destroy more of my enemies. And then trap their soul energy, I'm using finger quotation marks at this moment, to use it to destroy more of my enemies.
Awesome.
The screaming, the running, the crying, the begging, the pleading, the praying.
You know what's funny? You actually have all that written here. Like, oh man. So we've met very talented newcomers, and who are trying to get into who are trying to get their first professional projects going. What advice do you have for them? Just something that they've not heard before.
You haven't started yet. What the fuck are you waiting for? Or
Nice.
I'm not going to be able to tell you anything that's going to change your fucking mind. You haven't started into the abyss of madness, then stop wasting my time.
Okay.
Oh, fuck off. This is not work of art is not waiting for some person like myself or any other fuckface to give you some inspirational bullshit to go do the thing that you were mad enough to do it in the first place. If you have the madness, you'll do it regardless of what the fuck I'm going to tell you. You don't need to hear shit from me to go do the thing that you wanted to do the moment you said, fuck, I should do that.
Right. So if you feel like doing it, get up and do it.
Like, if you're waiting for some inspirational video, I'm pretty sure TED Talks can satisfy your libido. What's that?
Sorry, no. So what's the most important big idea that you've learned in life? Like, is that it, or you have another one?
The most logical thing to do is to do no harm, and maybe say nice things.
Oh, that's
I
dope.
like that.
I do like that. I'm gonna steal that.
Do it.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna borrow that. Yeah.
Just don't borrow it. Just do it.
Okay.
Do it.
So I feel like this is a question that I have to ask. So you are writing your own comics, and you do have a goal for your characters at some point. What's the end goal for some of your characters, or if not all your characters, or all the comic books you're writing? Where do you see them going, and how? And I know that you are writing these characters because you love what you're doing, but how do you want people to receive that? Like, how do you want the masses to receive them?
Be okay with the monster that you are, because that's what makes you human.
Right.
But also control the fucking monster that you are, so you don't fuck up with the rest of us humans. Perhaps say nice things. Perhaps try.
Right.
Just try.
Yeah, so I want to thank you, Alan, for coming through and blessing us with the dopest podcast I think we've done so far.
Oh, well, thanks.
Yeah, this
Only
is
because of that curse a lot.
this is by far the most fun I've had on the series, and this is by far, I think, the dopest one I've done so far. I just really appreciate what you've done. Oh, before anything, do you want to tell everyone where they can find you, social media, internet wise?
I guess you could find me on this thing called the Instagram at Alan_T_Clark. And PhantomElectrik.com. That's Phantom Electrik with a K at the end.com.
Nice. So that was Alan_E_Clark.
Alan_T_Clark. I'll send it to you with the email stuff.
All right, fantastic. So also, Alan has said he will eventually send us a signed comic book to give away to a lucky listener. I am excited to to pass that work along. So again, if you like this interview, you will support Alan, not just off this interview, you support what he's doing. And again, I am interested in reading Babylon 9, and I know a lot of you are. If you are a Sailor Moon fan, I'm pretty sure you heard when he said it is hopped up on some kind of drug. So yeah,
drugs. Yeah, it is a drugged up Sailor Moon.
Yeah, so
black folks, Asian folks, or it's just fucked up future people. Fucked up future people.
There you go.
All right.
So I know you guys who love. I know I have a couple listeners who love Sailor Moon, so I know you guys will love to read that. Again, I want to thank you, Alan, for coming through and blessing us too with your dopeness. Brianna, do you have anything to say before we head out?
I do not. I think everything is said.
All right.
What's
so thank you guys for listening. Thank you again, Alan, for coming through. This has been your boy Mo Crosby with another This Week in Comics Black History Month. I guess special edition for the podcast. You can listen to the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, Pocket Cast, TuneIn, Audio Mac. Crap, I'm forgetting one. I always forget one. Google Play Music, on YouTube, Earth2 Comic Cast. On the internet, we have a website, earth2cc.com. I don't know why I just said that. Anyways, you can find us at these various places, and also anywhere you can find your podcast app, if I didn't mention it. Thank you again for listening. We will catch you on the next one. Mo Crosby signing out. Peace.